Hey guys, Matt here, the Broken Supercoach. Just checking in again. Supercoach has just reset. I've just sat down, and we'll have a quick review of how we've gone this week. First thing to note is my trade situation is absolutely horrendous, but I've had a good think about it during the week, and it's a case of either I was going to be conservative or I'm just going to full send it, and I might just have to full send, but that's okay. It's high risk, high reward. So yeah, 2487, which is actually an extremely lucky score, and I've managed to go up the ranks. And when I show you why, you'll be blown away by this. I actually thought I was going to sail out of control when I saw Callum Coleman-Jones get subbed out when he wasn't injured for 5 points. I honestly thought I was screwed this week, but thankfully a lot of people left Briggs on field and had no forward cover. A lot of people ran Neil and had very little mid cover, if any mid cover. So I was really lucky there in that regard. Let's have a quick let's jump straight in and have a look. But 737, this is probably where this is pretty accurate, I think. I'd love to crack the top 500. We'll see. It's going to be pretty difficult, but when we see here, I do have the guys to do it. I just don't have every guy to do it. So let's have a quick look at the team. We'll run it over. Oh, someone beat me. Not bad. Probably the public league. My public league is insane. I've shouted out a few times. Hats off to the blokes in the public league. Those guys are absolute. There's a couple in there that are insane. Myself included, obviously. So we'll just run through the lines. Didn't watch a lot of footy this weekend. This 5 on field put me off big time. So outside of the Crows and a couple of other games, I really tried to steer clear of it because 5 on field tilted me off of the side of the earth. So the defense is looking okay. Probably could have. I think Highmore was the correct choice to play on field. In hindsight, it wasn't. Obviously, it would have been to get Laird up there and have Bramble on field, but there's no way I would have known that. So I might do that this week to shuffle it around. It's just tough because Brockman is that loophole that I use. Or Edwards, I probably would have looped Edwards and been even worse because he actually ended up being a late in. So I had nothing there. But Mills, so this is why I think I'm in good stead. Mills, amazing. This guy is the new Lloyd, and I've also got Lloyd. But, this guy is popping out some insane scores, and he's not a lot of people have him. So, 20% in teams. And I've had him for quite some time, so I'm really happy with Mills. Continue to blast. Stewart, Stewart. He's quite highly owned, I think, is what we remember going through. Yeah, he's great. Really love him. Probably next year, these are the two I'll stick with straight in. Obviously, rookie situation you have to consider, but these two I think are just instant picks next year. Whitfield a bit lower than usual. I don't know what happened there. I saw the end of their game. Whether it was just he played a different role or whatnot, but I'll take 80 for what we paid for him. We paid almost nothing for him. Lloyd, this is what I think we can expect from Lloyd from now on, 90s to 100s. I think Mills has really taken over and he plays up a lot more. And to go on a bit of a tangent about Lloyd, what used to happen is that there'd just be a bunch of key defenders just in the back line who would immediately, or young guys, who would immediately look for Lloyd. And it was a bit of a case of Ablett at Gold Coast, where anytime anyone got it in their back 50, it was instantly give the ball to Lloyd, get a kick. He's also taking kick-ins, do that, and he'd just rack up points. But now with Mills playing in that back half and on a wing, and along with some other good young players as well, Lloyd's he's used less. Still a very handy player, but I think it's a case of probably going to have to pass on him next year, unless Mills lose the defense tag, which he might, and unless if he's 500, you probably still look at him. Sure, everyone at Richmond was trash this week. Short was trash, Bolton was trash, Callum Coleman-Jones I don't even want to think about. Even Dusty scored like 80 odd. Richmond, I think they're really going to struggle to make the A. But Short is what he is. He's that price. We can't trade him. A lot of people have him from the start. No one's getting rid of him. Is that short? Yeah, look, 30% in. You take the highs and the lows. Everyone has him. Highmore with a 50. From what I could tell, they bottled. I've just had a quick look at the game, and it looks like he must have slowed down at the end. So I don't know what happened there. I thought he was on track for about a 70 or an 80. But he's a rookie player, and I just need him to do well. I don't know what to tell you. I might this week move Laird up, and just have Highmore sit on the bench, and I'll try to use one of these guys. Assuming Edwards isn't picked, or assuming all these guys are playing, I can try to use someone. Bramble seemed to have a nice role. Newcomb scores well. I can use one of these guys. And then these guys just making money. I think I will eventually trade Highmore, and I will eventually trade Callum Coleman-Jones, and they'll be the two guys. But this is the main event here is this guy, Darcy Parish. This is why I sent all in for him. This is why I feel like, despite being a player down, I am in seriously good shape. And in fact, I got him cheaper. When did I get him? 14? He's actually made money since I grabbed him. That's how insane Darcy Parish is playing. Put the VC on him, because I know he's unique. 10% owned. I figured I'll slap the VC in him. He was 120 at half time. I instantly looped. This guy is amazing. Bont usually doing the same, didn't this week, but a lot of people have Bont, so I'm not frustrated, not bothered. Parish is going to propel me way through the ranks. This guy's a freak, and I'm so glad that I paid up for him. Same story with Dale. I'm really happy that I paid up for these two. And it just shows, even though I've spent extra trades now and I'm in trouble because of that, I knew that watching Parish, I would have more fun watching him in my team than if he wasn't in my team. So that's what you play Supercoach for, guys. Steele, McRae, Lyons, Laird, these guys are amazing. Oliver, I think he was tagged a little bit. Don't quite recall. Yeah, he was tagged a little bit. It was a tough game. Not a huge amount of scores for anyone. Is what it is. A lot of people have Oliver, 36%. And Walsh is a freak. Happy I got him, and but everyone's got him. Another one of those. So Edwards was a late in, which is nice. 39. Still low break even. Hopefully he keeps his spot because he's just handy cover now. And these guys are all just handy cover. Because the only two I'll go are Coleman, Jones, and Highmore. And the rest are just handy cover. I'm really frustrated about Reeves, but he's a good loop. Gorn, no longer a captain option. They're winning games, so you can't blame the guy, but I'm not even sure I'd pick him next year. Depending on his price. I think you can go Darcy ahead of him. I think you can go... I wouldn't go Nat Nui because of his age. I think you can go Riley O'Brien ahead of him. There might be a rookie that you could take. I wouldn't go Gorn next year. Grundy, amazing. What neck injury, basically. A lot of people would have captained him, and I think he's a very good captain option. And looking at this week, yeah, he'll be my backup captain option against Richmond, who I assume will have Nank back. And then the forward line, this is where these four have just been amazing. I'm really happy I got Dale for that reliability. Zorko somehow was tagged out of the game and still managed to get 99. How does that work? I don't know. What did he get? 10 touches or something? Does it show it here when it shows kicks? 12 touches. But 12, what is that, tackles? Yeah, so he's done 12 tackles. So managed to get himself back in the game with 12 tackles. Great effort. He's highly owned, so it is what it is. Zeeble Hall, these guys are great. Absolute seagulls. They are good. Bolton, frustrated. Apparently still carrying an injury, so I'm just going to take these trash scores from him. I hope that he can get back to this sort of form. And I think the positive about Bolton is Richmond will also hope that he'll get into this type of form as well, because that's when they were winning. So them not winning at the moment, they need Bolton to play well. So they'll be wanting him. They'll be putting him in positions where he can play like he was at the middle of the year. So that's good for our Supercoach, for the owners. And 10% owned, it'll be great once he starts winning. This Callum Coleman-Jones, don't want to talk about it. This is total trash. if you remember last week, I said I just need him to score about his break-even or more. His break-even was something like 12. Honestly, his break-even was genuinely piss all, and he's made 5. And I'll doubt whether he's injured. I get he won't be named. Excuse me, he won't be named because he was trash. But unbelievable. I can't believe that. A 5 and subbed out, a dodgy sub out as well. So that's a thing. And usually you expect people to score huge against Gold Coast. They've somehow lost. So just absolute disaster station. So you can imagine how I felt on, was it Thursday, when I wanted to loop Callum Coleman-Jones in, but because none of these guys were named, I just put him on field. Saw him on 0 at quarter times. Saw him on 5 halfway through the second quarter and subbed. You can imagine how I felt about the rest of the week. Thankfully, my boy Parish came through huge. So that's how I've done for the week. For the record, I traded someone for Bramble. Madden wasn't named. I'm worried about him coming in and out. As much as I'd love to see him as sort of handy cover, he's expensive. I couldn't trade Callum Coleman-Jones at the time, which I would have liked to, in hindsight now. But his break-even was in the 30s or 40s or something. All the rest of the guys had more money to make. I wasn't using him. He wasn't named. Made sense to get Bramble. Correct call. Bramble hopefully keeps his spot for the rest of the year. Madden's going to be in and out. Is what it is. What it does mean is, though, is that I've blown the DPP to this side, so I don't have a DPP for forward line, so I can't switch easily, which is frustrating, but it's okay. That's what you have it for. So this week, there's only one guy anyone should be targeting, and in hindsight, I probably should have done it. I could have done it. My take on Dangerfield was that he was probably only going to score about, at best, a 120 and make about 4,000. And Callum Coleman-Jones was going to make about 30,000. So, and every dollar counted. So I would have had 100k left over instead of 80. Instead now, I'm not even sure I can afford him. So I can 39. So I've lost 50 on that gamble, which is really frustrating. What it also means is that it's going to be really tough to get full premium. So I'm going to have to do some magic with the DPP of Bianco and Ladd, and just play guys like Highmore and Bramble against each other more often than not, and just try to get that in. And as the year goes on, as Highmore continues to score, I'll use the last 2 trades to bring in that last premium towards the end of the year, and it'll be a full send, and it is what it is. So that's how the team's going to look. And, we can do stuff like this to sort of, to play around. So, for instance, St Kilda on the hard part is St Kilda on a Friday night. So you've got to think about, Brisbane. Is he going to score well against Brisbane, or is Bramble against Fremantle a little bit better? So you can't loop because I don't have a loop in any of these spots yet. But, we'll just have to think about what we do there. But here's the team. Look, it's looking really strong. And the truth is, I can afford to be a player down because I've got Parish, and because I've got Zorko, and because I've got Bond and Steele. These guys and Lyons, who are rare, who are scoring at an insane level. 10% owned, 9% owned. Who was the other guy? Hall was quite highly at 15% owned. Dangerfield now is, I imagine he'll be up to 40% owned by the end of the week. Bolton is 10% owned if he can start scoring. Dale, 7% owned. With these guys scoring really well against the meta picks being Martin, meta picks being, Merritt, guys like that. If they can outscore them, then I will be winning. So it's an unusual tactic, but it's one that's paying off at the moment. If I could just do with not having 5s on field, that'd be sick. Because, man, is that frustrating. Other cause of concern is, of course, the absolute lack of forward cover. So, Briggs and Brockman. I think Briggs comes back in. Brockman is not coming back. He's gone forever. But I think Briggs comes back in. It's hard because now I don't have that DPP. I can't get anyone in. So if I have any laid outs here, I'm taking a 0, which is wildly frustrating. We'll try to do something about that. Well, there's not much I can do about it, honestly. I just have to grin and bear it. Just hope that these 6 are the 6 for the rest of the year, and hopefully Briggs comes back in. Happy to use a trade to, cash out someone like a Zorko. If that means, I'll have one more trade left. Now, and that's about it. So it's going to be tough to get that last spot filled, and I may not do it. I may not have to. If I can get 80s out of these guys, great. If I can get 90s out of this guy, no drama. It is what it is. Other choices, I'm not sure there are any other choices at the moment. They're obviously not going to be there. I think you can do things like, if you're looking to get Grundy in, if you traded Grundy out, I think you should really start to think about Sean Darcy. Who else? Took Miller's a really nice pod if you can't afford Darcy Parish. If you can go him. I think there's some interesting choices around the forward line and even in defense with guys like Marcus Adams. But I think everyone filled the defense up straight away. I think Kyle Eamon's a really nice pick. You've got to start making some weird choices here, guys, because you're not going to win just taking a meta pick that everyone has. You're not going to go up. But if you're playing for leagues, just grab those guys that everyone has. Dustin Martin, all those guys. The fact that Dunkley will be back soon, but I wouldn't be too fussed about that. Guys like Merritt still scoring 100. I had my own Rosie, obviously write that guy off. There's just no one else I got my eye on. If we talk about rookies, there are some rookies this week, I thought. Yeah, Jeremy Sharp, we spoke about him last week. Scored again really nicely. I like him. Don't know where he's from. 270s? 140 is too much to pay for him. And I just don't think anyone's going to be using him. Honestly, I don't think anyone has the trades to bring a guy like this in. So, it's unlucky, but it is what it is. Max Lynch's not coming back. And they're it. Claverino didn't play. He's not coming back either. So, there's not a lot of rookies, but you shouldn't be worrying about rookies now. You should ideally have a full premium team or one off. And hopefully you got more trades than I do. But I got Darcy Parish, so I'm okay with it. Watch me now jinx him. I've jinxed that now. And obviously Dangerfield is the only in you should be getting. Yes, should have had him last week. Went up the 30 that Callum Coleman-Jones should have gone. Callum Coleman-Jones didn't go up anything, so lost 40k on that. Break even extremely low. He will go up to 600 now, so you have to grab him this week or you won't get him. But that's me then. Look, I'm happy with the week. Obviously, 5 on field and 3 Richmond players has really left a sour taste in my mouth. But, redeemed by some really good performing pods in Lions and Parish. So, not hugely fussed at the end of the day. And now I've alleviated the Callum Coleman-Jones problem. Got Dangerfield on. Trades are low. Still having to play a rookie through the middle. Hopefully Bramble can hook us up with a score like that every week. Or we can fling and play Highmore again against Brisbane. I'll have to look what defenders do against Brisbane. So I'll have a look during the week. Let us know how you guys went. What's your ranking? Where you're sitting? I'm just happy that, with a 5, I've said this about 10 times now, but I'm just happy that I didn't drop out of the 1,000 with a 5 on the field. So I'll take that every day of the week. So thanks, guys. I'll chat to you during the week.